Welcome you all to today's session on country by country reporting, or the CbCR. I would like to extend a special mention to the BISP solutions who have been at the forefront of a simplifying been at the complex tax and compliance process with technology driven solutions. So today's topic is CbCR, which is one of the most important international tax transparency measured introduced by the OECD under the BEPS, that is our base erosion and profit shifting framework. It directly impacts how multinational enterprises disclose their financials and operation data across different jurisdictions. In this session, we all not only understand the fundamental of the CbCR but also explore how the organization can prepare, manage and report the data effectively using the solutions such as Oracle Tax Reporting Cloud. So I'm gonna walk through you each through aspects of the CbCR framework, that what it means and why it matters and how company ensures the compliance. With that, let's begin by our understanding with the basics of CbCR. So CbCR is a global tax compliance requirement introduced by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, that is our OECD, as the part of BEPS, that is our Base Erosion and Profit Shifting Action Plan 13. So the primary motive behind the CbCR was to ensure the greater tax transparency by the multinational enterprise, that is our MNEs, right? For decades, tax authorities struggled with the problem that multinational companies could shift profit to low tax jurisdiction, leaving little taxable income in the countries where real economic activity were taking place. So the result was the base erosion, that is the reduction in the taxable base, or the profit shifting, that is moving profits to tax havens. Right. So the CbCR aims to solve this by requiring MNEs, those with the consolidation, you can say that the revenue of 750 million or above, right, to disclose their global allocation of income, taxes and certain indicators of economic activities. Right. So this way the tax authorities can see the bigger picture of how the income is spread and how their profit are being declared across the countries. Right. So let's start with it. So here, this is the central reporting requirement. The CbCR template is the central reporting requirement. It captures all your quantitative information for each tax jurisdiction where the MNEs operates, right? So the data here include the revenue, that is from both related and unrelated party. Then we have our income, then we have our profit, or that we can say income or loss before the income tax. Then we have our income tax paid and income tax accrued. The paid is on the cash basis and the accrued is on the current year. Then the stated capital, we have accumulated earnings, number of employees, tangible asset and etc. Right. So this template is a structure into the table 1 and table 2 and table 3, which we are going to discuss in our later slides. Before that, here we have our master files and the local files. So the master file, this is the more qualitative one. It actually acts as the blueprint of the global operations of the MNE and provides the context of tax authorities by describing the group's structure. You can say the transfer pricing policies, also intangible financing arrangements and the supply chain. And in the local file, this complements the master file but is specifically to each country. It provides the functional and economical analysis of transactions undertaken by the local entity with related parties. This ensures the local tax authorities understand the substance of intercompany dealing with their jurisdiction, right? So the logic behind these 3 tiers approach is simple. The CbCR template provides a number, that is our quantitative picture. The master files explains the group strategy, that is our qualitative background, and the local file gives the jurisdiction specific details, that is our local compliance. Together they provide the tax authorities with a 360-degree view of the MNEs. Right. So let's get to our next one, that is our CbCR reporting, right? So in this the CbCR requires structured reporting for table 1, 2 and 3, right? So collecting this information manually can be complex, especially for the large groups with ERPs, business units and geographies, right? So the Oracle TRCS simplified it by integrating the financial consolidation and the close FCCS and the ERP cloud and on-premises ERP like e-business suites, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, or the third-party system, allowing them to integrate with the income tax data, but usually resides in the TRCS itself, right? So this creates a single platform to create, validate or consolidate the CbCR data instead of manual Excel sheet. The TRCS enables the automation and control and reducing the risk of the errors. The significance here is the automation, that you can say is the data consolidation from the multiple systems, data validation, that is ensuring the consistency, then the workflow, which is the assigning of tasks and approvals. Then and we can also say that we can add reporting also, that is generating CbCR in OCD, prescribing the XML format, right? This way company ensures the compliance of efficiency and accuracy. Now we will get to our next one, that is our table 2, 3 and the constituent entity information. Here this slide explains the practical structure of the CbCR template. In this, the table 2, that is for each entity in the jurisdiction, you specify the nature of the main business activity. We are gonna see it on our application itself, but first let's learn that what does it mean. So this in here you usually say yes or no in the checklist, right? We can say such as research and development or holdings, sales or marketing, etc. And then the table 3 is the additional information, right? So this is a free text section. It allows the companies to provide the explanation or the clarification for anomalies in the data. We can take an example, that is, if one country shows the high revenue but low employee, you can explain it due to outsourcing. Yeah, or you can say, as you know, we are working on TRCS, if the tax paid is very different from the tax accrued, you can clarify the deferred tax or prior adjustment, right? So under the constituent entity information form, this is an essential listing for all entities in the group itself, right, and their tax residency. It answers which entity exists in each jurisdiction. For example, there are 2 entities in India, 3 entities in Japan and different other places. So it actually tells us that in which jurisdiction what entities, like for example in India there is production and distribution, in Japan there is production, distribution and processing. So once all this information is collected, the TRCS allows you to run the consolidation and generate the CbCR reports. There is also a data status form to monitor the completeness and accuracy also. So this slide reinforces the point that a CbCR isn't just about fitting a template, it's about ensuring data accuracy, contextual clarity and the consistency across all the groups. Alright, so let's get to our application itself so that we can start with the practical. So okay, here's our application. We have our just a minute, we have our the card on our home screen itself, home page itself, that is CbCR. We are going to click on it. We are going to navigate to data entry. We will wait for them to load. Data status. Alright, so any data that you actually in under this, right, data status, any data that you have been changed, right, or whenever it has been changed in any of the period under any of the jurisdiction or its regional or entity itself, any of them, it will actually show it here under the data status. Right, you just have to actually select the scenario, year and the currency. Here you will see that what is the approval status, what is the calculation status, system changed. Here you can see in all of them. There is no data under it, you can see as. Then we have the RT and our audit at last. Then we have our next one is the, under these even you can say these are the employee rates under the under risk assessment. Here's the employee ratios, revenue ratios. These are all actually the pictorial views which these means cards, these forms provide under this card, right? Here we have our employee ratio, revenue ratio, profit ratio, income tax paid ratio, income tax accrued ratio, asset ratio, and equity ratio. Then we have our filing. Here you can see that sending the identification number, sending is in 12 demo. This is the entry. Okay, then under this the receiving country. What are the receiving countries? These are the receiving country, Bangladesh. Here we have the languages, if there are any. Then who we need to contact, the contact information about the person responsible, the type of message sent, reporting time. So basically who is filing it, so all the details according to it, the person who is filing it or the entity who is filing it is all recording under this section, that is filing, right? Then we have a summary. Under this is a summary. Here actually under the summary it will show you all the things that we have put in the data entry. So here you won't get to edit the form itself from right here, right? You can run the rule and everything. If you will try to edit, it will take you here on the data entry one. So this is the major form under this CbCR which we are going to work on, right? So here you can see it, that here is table 1, table 2, constituent entry information and further information. So let's start with the first one or the last one, that is the most minor one we will work on. So here you can see we have the the further information one, right? So here we write anything or do any entry that is regarding the entity itself, right? So here you can see here we entered the other entity information of LE101, that is operations entity based in US. So we write about this under this, right? And we have to actually select a POV for what we are doing it. Here you can see any further relevant information relating to the constituent entity. So we feed the information regarding the entity we are working on here, right? More information actually. The basics and the major information are actually registered or entered in the constituent entity information. Here we can see under the entry if there is a country code, that is a tax jurisdiction, we have a United Kingdoms of Great, we have its TIN code, TIN issued by the United States, its IN code, and then it's the full name of the constituent entity is LE101, that is US sample entity, right? Address type is resident, country coded America, Samoa, street US street 1, and other things like POB, postal code, city, incorporated, etc., right? Here we will come to the table 2. Yes, under this you can see here you just have to choose either yes or no under these entries, right? If there is no one, then you can actually type the no here and you can save it from here, right? So here you can see that there is the research and development, holdings and managing the intellectual property, purchasing or procurement, manufacturing or production, sales, marketing or distribution, then and many other things like internal finance group or the insurance, etc. So what all the entity is into, right? That entity is into, it is into the research and development. If it is, then yes. Is it in the holdings and managing of intellectual property? Then yes. If it's not purchasing any purchased anything or procured anything, then no. Then there is no relation with the sales and distribution, no. Or either you can say that it means you can leave it empty, no need to actually enter any entry in it. Then we have our table 1. right? Under this, the table 1, you can see here that we have a mapped data, we have a managed data, supplemental data, and data input, right? So here the mapped data is that from where the data is coming from, right? Here you can see revenue related parties. Here is the profit loss before income tax. First, let's make a duplicate tab of it, and I will explain you each of this actually heads, right? So here this is the automation of CbCR. Here we have mapped data. That means it's mapped from another source. That means it can be from the balance sheet itself or the profit and loss or etc. Data input refers to where we actually ourselves edit the data, right? Then supplemental data is the extra data that is the company provides us, that for example if you have a salary of 50,000, right, how that salary is coming. So we actually make a form and give it to our employer or the project manager whom we are working on, and he will fill it out, he or she, and will give us to it that this is the 50,000, how that 50,000 salary is coming. Like there are 50 employees who we give 1,000 each, so they are gonna fill that form itself, right? So data input is that how you yourself enter the data, right? Managed data is that it's adjusted at some other places. Then here we have a data input under the adjustment itself. Here the data input refers to the data input, right, what we are going to adjust it. Then according to this, if we do any adjustment, right, if we have 20,000 right here, if I actually put a data here, edit, I'm going to adjust the data. Here you can see in the table 1 that here it is 20,000, and the total CbCR, it is just the total from the data source. Yeah, total CbCR will include the total from the data source plus the adjustment we are gonna make it. We are gonna making in it, right? So under this, okay, this is the actually form editor. We can do it from the tax provision national, right? So this was all the things under the under this. So now we will go that how we are gonna go do our configurations, right? The CbCR configuration. So we will go to our home page from this icon. Then on the application, I'm gonna drill it down and go to our configurations. That is under our overview. Then under configurations, I will search for the CbCR automation. Here is the CbCR automation. Let it load. It may take some time. So we were doing the CbCR automation for year 22, period 12, right? So here is how we do the automation itself. See, revenue related parties, net profit and loss, national income tax paid, regional, state. So these were the heads that we were actually looking in that sheet. Yeah. So let me actually explain it to you right here. So the revenue related parties here refers or represent the sales or the revenue earned from the related parties, that is your entities within the same multinational group. We can take an example that if the US entity sells goods or the provides service to its subsidiary in Canada, the transaction is considered a related party revenue. And then we have here the revenue unrelated party, that is the next one. So this is we refer this to as a sales or revenue earned from the independent third party, right? That can be customers, clients, suppliers not connected to the group, and etc. Here we can take example that selling products to external retailers or to the or the service to an independent customer. Then we have let's go just move there. Actually there were more than this, but actually we should have here the total one. It's actually showing the profit. Okay, now under this the total revenue comes from that is the revenue from related parties in addition with the revenue from unrelated parties, right? Here you can see the 20,028, right? And here you can see there is 23,003,070 here is 23,003,772. Here you can see this is added in the 20,028 and this gives the new value, right? Now Next one we have is profit loss before an income tax. So this column records the profit or loss earned before the deduction of income tax. That is the key indicator of the you can say the business performance in that specific jurisdiction, right? So here it is that it can be revenue minus expense, that excluding the income tax, that which will tell us either it is a profit or it is a loss. Then next we have here is a national income tax paid, right? So it represents the actual cash payments of the corporate income tax to the federal government or the national government, right here. Right, so the cash basis here means that it records tax when paid, not when accrued, right? You can see it's 5,000, it's actually 5,568,000. Under this you have 2,240,000, and then these two are added, then the total income tax is registered here. Then we have national income accrued. So it represents the income tax expense recognized under the accounting rule, that is accrual basis for the year that is payable to the federal government, right? So here the accrued means that the tax liability for the year, even if not yet paid in cash, right? So here the accrued income tax expense for the year at the state level itself, you can say that also, right? So let's get into our next one. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. So these were the meaning under these. Now we will see that how it works. So let's start with it. First we are gonna navigate. So we are gonna start with the mapping itself. So to map it, we are gonna make a new account. So we are gonna go to the library. Oh, not the library. We are gonna go to our dimensions right here. And the dimensions here you can see under the income statement, we will go on the 80th on the net income after tax. Then here we have 79,000, that is the profit before tax. We are going to drill it down. Then we are going to go on the gross margin. Under revenue we are going to add a child, right? So let's add a child. Here you can name it 41234 like this. Under the alias it can be demo revenue, right? So the account type is revenue, its variance is non-expense, so the time balance is flow, exchanges is no rate, source is console, data storage we will put it in the stored one, as we don't want it to be rolled over to any another except the parent itself, right? Then we are going to save. Instead of before saving it, we are going to go to the attribute and connect it to the CbCR. Now here's the CbCR. We are going to drill it down. Under this we have CbCR revenue related parties. We will select it, add it, and we are going to save it. Because of this actually help option, you can't actually see the save option, but it's right here. Okay, so it's okay. I actually forgot to do one more thing. Let me refresh it first. I should be having a demo one right here. Here we have the refresh option. Okay, I refreshed it. Actually I forgot to do one thing, that is in the formula section, that is after the attribute, that we have to actually see that in there it is on the store setting itself, not any other, as it can affect the actually whole accounts. We'll wait for it until it's running. It may take a minute or two. So it's finished now. Let's get it finished, and we should have our revenue. Under revenue we should have our okay, actually what I created here is its child. Actually I should put it cut, and I will put it under here, paste. Wait a second, what I'm making here, this, okay, this is the demo one, my bad. I will just cut this one, and I'm gonna put it under the revenue, paste. I moved it. Now you can see here we have a demo revenue right here. So we are gonna edit it once more. Under the member formula we are gonna guess, yeah, so its values are stored. Okay, then we don't need anything to do here, right? Okay, now as we have made the actually member here, means the new account here, let's move to our configurations so that we can add the new account. We will go to our home page. Under applications we will go to the configurations. Under configuration you will see here the CbCR automations. Under the CbCR automation we can enable or disable that what we want. We can pull the put the different logics, the percentage we want it, right, and from the which source it's coming, either it's coming for console or any other source, right, the source movement, that where it is going. So all the revenue goes to the trial balance, so it's we choose trial balance close, right. So under this we are gonna select revenue demo. Let's go with the demo revenue, right. Then we will save it. Here we can see that the process is going on as it's moving. It's actually the loading bar, and even when you will hover it right here on it, on any of these options, you can see that it's also loading. Here the rule was successfully saved. Now you see that we have a demo revenue, right. So we are gonna close it. Now we are gonna go we are gonna go on a tax provision national forms. Under here we are also gonna navigate it to our tax provision national forms. We have our income statement right here under the forms. Let's close these ones. I don't want this one, I will have this, right. So under the forms you can choose right here income statement by source, right. Here you can see that income statement by source, it will actually put it here. So you can see here that this is the income statement by source, right. Here we should have actually let's refresh it once. Another revenue, I should have it. Okay, then we have the entity input. We are navigate to a CbCR. we don't have the CbCR. Library, it's the CbCR. Under this we're gonna look at our table 1. Let's open all the tables, so I will explain it to you. Okay, this is actually also opened. So here we have table 1. Let me open others also. This was table 1 by jurisdiction. You will see it under that, under the table 2 and 3 also, like this. Then we have our table 1 with the data entry. Okay, so here you can see that first let's go to the table 1. Here there is all the amounts that is actually put it in the data entry and the jurisdiction according to it. So let's go to the jurisdiction. So table 1 is actually the final sheet which actually depicts the whole value of table 1 data entry and table 1 jurisdiction, right? So here you can see under the UMS domicile we have different entities that have the different actually revenue related parties entry, right? So here in table 1 you will have a value, that is 2992303, right? So let's actually add the value. If it actually goes to there, so this is actually jurisdiction wise. That means all the division under the jurisdiction, all entities under a jurisdiction are all actually mentioned here and calculated. So here we will go, we have our 20,028, add 15,601, in addition 1560 plus 10478 plus 121971 plus 2132,562, this should be plus 1648. Here we got the same value as table 1. If you add all of these, that is, you can see 29923 right? Now we will go to our table 1 data entry. Okay, so here you can actually do the entry and change the different things, means you can actually do the input right here in the table 1 and it will depict it in all the tables. For example, instead of 10,000 we actually need the valuation of 3,000. We will save it once. Okay, it's been saved. Now you can see the adjustment made here was of 3,000. It was actually added here, the 3,000. If I actually negative value, let's save once. See, the data has been saved, right? You can see it here. Now let's go to our library and actually add data to our income statement. Let's go to our income statement by source. Okay, under this we don't have our revenue. Actually, I have actually made the account itself and I have done the proper setting, but I can't see the revenue here. Okay, so it's not a problem. See, if you have actually the data, what I have created was that in the demo, I think demo revenue that I can't see under the revenue section. So if you have put the data and we have linked it to the CbCR, when we put the data that is in our demo revenue at 10,000, it will depict here under the revenue related parties. All the map data totals will actually depicted here, that is 20,000. If I actually added under the demo revenue and I have put that under the revenue related, then 10,000 plus 20,000, it will make 30,000 right here, right? But due to it we can't put it there, so we are going to put here the 10,000, right, and we are going to save it. See, right, now if you go to the CbCR, data entry, table 1, here you can see that I have done an adjustment of 10,000, right, which has made it 30,000. And according to this, you can actually do the adjustment in all of these accounts, that is revenue unrelated, the profit loss before any before income tax, national income tax on paid on cash, regional income tax paid on cash basis, national income tax accrued current year, regional income tax accrued current year. So today this was all about our CbCR reporting, right? We have done the different tables, the different options under those tables, that is the information section, that which entity we are actually feeding the entity data in it, and then we have that extra information, further information, and a table 1 that is showing the mapped information, data input and the adjustment plus the total CbCR. Right, so this session covered our whole CbCR topic. If you have any query or any question that you related to the CbCR, you can comment me on the comment section. I will sort it out in the next session. Right, so thank you for connecting with me.